This has major implications on the Houston Texans' future. You had a quarterback sign a massive contract, and now CJ Stroud could be in the potential for a record-breaking deal. A lot to break down on Texans Digest, but a lot of fun. Honestly, this is going to be a great upcoming season. You got a new receiving core, new look for the Texans, new offense. So let's jump right into it. If you're new to the channel, 83% of you are not subscribed to the channel. And I'm going to apologize in ahead of advance if you can't hear my voice. A little bit under the weather, but trying to pump out videos for you regardless. So apologies for the annoying voice, if you would. So first things first, Brock Purdy got paid a 5-year, $265 million contract, 181 in total guarantees. So that puts him amongst the top in terms of paid quarterbacks. And here's the thing, CJ Stroud is going to get paid. Is it this year? Is it next year? Probably after this season. Right now, the highest paid quarterback a season, $60 million. So it's Dak Prescott, and then the drop-off is $55 million. So that's kind of then the average, if you would. And it's been Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, all at the $55 million range. And the biggest thing here is total guarantees, right? When you're looking at what a quarterback wants, it's guaranteed money. And honestly, when you're getting as much as millions, I feel like CJ Stroud is the type of player, type of person even, to take less of a contract because you have a good situation and you're willing to take that pay cut. So that's the good thing about the Texans and Nick Caserio, is that he's always going to look to improve the team the best way he can. You even saw it this past season where he renegotiated a lot of different contracts. Traded Laremy Tunsil, got rid of that contract, traded for Christian Kirk, and then got his salary to almost nothing for the upcoming season. So that's good to see. And then Titus Howard, another guy who was up there in a big contract. Danielle Hunter's probably getting the most money in terms of the next season, but the extension for Hunter actually made it less of a cap hit. Nick Caserio is planning for the future, and when you're looking at CJ Stroud, he's going to get a lot of money. And if he played like he did in his rookie season, $60 million a year could be the new and improved. And the way Nick Caserio pays his players, like the way he gave Danielle Hunter that contract, I would not be surprised if CJ Stroud is the new highest paid quarterback in the NFL after a great season. Because you look at this upcoming season, CJ Stroud is going to have an awesome year. Not only year 3, new offense, new weapons, but he's going to have he had a great offseason. He's been really good since February. That's Nick Caserio's thoughts on Stroud. But I feel like Texans fans, just back me up here. I feel like he's getting less praise than he should. In terms of everyone else talking about Stroud, they're like, he's a top 10 quarterback. Last year was a problem. The offense was bad. We'll just say it how it was. Bobby Slowick did not have good play calls. The offensive line didn't hold up. And this year, Stroud in a new system, hopefully a pass-first system. It's going to probably be run-first because you got Woody Marks and Joe Mixon. But my point here is Stroud's going to have an awesome season. And paying him after this season is most likely. And you look at that with the Brock Purdy contract. Purdy is probably not on the same level as Stroud. But for what Stroud has done for the organization and the little time that he's been here for Houston, he's been back-to-back years where he went to the playoffs. He won a playoff game as a rookie, so that was pretty impressive. So the biggest thing here is, do you want him to play less this season in terms of, well, let's just call it how it is. Let's say Stroud has another sophomore slump kind of season into his 3rd year in the league, and he's looking at, the same stats that he had last season. Now, if Stroud has the same stats he did last season, he could get paid $55 million, which for that kind of season, regardless, you're going to pay him, right? And it's just a matter of what does he get? What does he deserve? Is the contract look the most appealing to, a team-friendly deal? Do fans think it's an overpay? Like the Trevor Lawrence contract, when that came out, I don't know if Jaguars fans were happy about it or not, but it doesn't seem like Trevor Lawrence is holding his end of the bargain in terms of the contract that he got. However, you're looking at a lot of different things. If we're thinking Stroud's going to get $70 million a year, first off, the market's only going up for quarterbacks, and if you could get Stroud like the Chiefs did, and Patrick Mahomes getting him on that big long tenure of a contract, that would be something special. So I would love if Caserio can lock him up for a long term, get like a 5 or 6 year deal. That would be pretty cool. But overall, I think this makes sense. It's just it could sound like a little bit of a reach, $70 million a year. I don't really care. Give Stroud what he's worth. He's going to have an awesome season, and honestly, it really does hurt that we couldn't pay him last year. I know it was only his second year in the league, so most likely that's never going to happen. But third or maybe even fourth year, I wouldn't be surprised if mid next season Nick Caserio pays him. But the biggest thing here is the fact that the Texans have already been making signings in terms of this past season, right? Derek Stingley got a contract. You got Jalen Pitre got extended, and Danielle Hunter. A lot of players got paid. Nico Collins restructured his contract. So when you're looking at this team for the future, CJ Stroud is going to get paid. Let me know you're accurate in terms of the actual money that Stroud's going to get. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I really wouldn't be surprised if he's the new highest paid quarterback. But again, when you go from $60 million is the most any quarterback makes a season. When you go from that to $70 million, that could seem like a kind of a jump. But if Stroud balls out this season and has an MVP season with Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Christian Kirk, Nico Collins, Justin Watson, the amount of receivers and the weapons the Texans have, the only thing is that I've had concerns with is if the offense will be ready, right? You have new reports that you have to establish with new receivers. That's something that's pretty crucial. Not only that, you have a new system, which I really wouldn't be surprised. Stroud will pick that up really quickly, but a new system, new receivers. This could be a slowly developing offense and have a roadblock for the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season because they need to figure out how to play with each other as a new and improved team. Now, Joe Mixon was there last year. Nico Collins was there last year. John Mechie. But most of the team has been revamped. The offensive line has kind of been redone. The receivers have been redone besides Nico. You brought in Woody Marks. So this is kind of a new offense outside of like Dalton Schultz, Nico Collins, Joe Mixon. Like there really is not that many names that have stayed on the team. Titus Howard, he was there. But again, looking at this upcoming season, this is make or break. Because this season will prove how much CJ Stroud will get paid. And if he has a 35 touchdown, 10 interception season with 4,500 yards, I mean, that's going to be $60 million regardless. And I just feel like the way Nick Caserio pays his players, I wouldn't be surprised if he got that big of a contract in terms of $70 million a season. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts. I feel like it's not the worst thing in the world. It just really depends on the guaranteed money. And another thing, you can go back in time and just kind of pick apart the deal in terms of restructuring, because if Stroud is getting so much money and he's that big of a cap hit, I think if you bring him into the office and say, hey, can you restructure your deal so we can bring in, all these big other names for the offensive line and wide receivers, Stroud would be like, oh yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like at the same time, he's not about the money, but he's just such a mellow guy where I could just see him being in Houston for his whole career, just for how great of a person and character that he is and how grateful he is to be in the league. So, again, CJ Stroud, awesome generational quarterback for the team. It's been a wild journey over the past 2 years, but I am confident to say that this is a new decade of Texans football. If you can lock up CJ Stroud for the next decade, the team has been planning around him. You got weapons for this season. It's going to be fun. So, thank you guys so much for watching. A little bit of a quicker video. Apologies for my voice. I really do sound terrible. So, again, sorry. But, again, hit that sub button if you want to see all the new Texans news on the way. Appreciate everyone, all the support. Thank you guys. Without you watching, this would not be possible. So, this is Texans Digest, Mike Zanetti, signing off. We'll see you in the next video.